The site occupied by the brutalist design of Anglia Square is one of the oldest parts of what would become the city of Norwich, which originally developed on the north bank of the Wensum. Possibly dating from pre-Roman times, there was a north-south route through this area which would link to a large Roman town at Caister St Edmund. Coming forward nearly 2,000 years, this video will look at how one of those roads, Botolph Street, was replaced by Anglia Square. The line of Botolph Street is approximately the line of those slabs you can see in the middle of the picture. It was apparently closed to traffic in March 1969. However, I don't know if I've got this right, but I have a very clear memory of being on the number 87 bus to Helsden via Botolph Street as late as 1971. Let's begin at the Magdalen Street end of Botolph Street, where a bank stood at the junction. This area was known as Stump Cross, and the same shot today would look something like this. We're now going to travel up the left-hand side, the western side of Botolph Street. Numbers 12 to 14 in 1936. This was Roberts the Printer's, previously known as Chamberlain's Clothing Factory. At that time, Calvert Street was not cut off by the flyover, and it ran all the way to Botolph Street. At the junction was the King's Arms pub. If we venture up Calvert Street a little way and look back, you can see the Odeon in the background and the Duke of Sussex pub in the foreground. This pub occupied an island site between Calvert Street and St George's Street, indicated by the grass area in the 2020 photo. You can see here how the two streets narrowed to form the site of the pub and now the grass area. This is number 44 to 46, and this is number 52, Foyle's Tuppence Library. I'm not quite sure how that would have worked. This was number 60, and this was Shuttle's Pub on the corner of Pitt Street. Rather a modern sounding name, I think, for a pub. New Botolph Street crosses the original road, but the overgrown area you can see behind this sign is the site of Shuttle's Pub. Let's retrace our footsteps on the eastern side of Botolph Street, beginning with the current view of its junction at St Augustine's. And what legacy do we see left on this building? This is the same shot today and includes yet another pub, this time the Britannia. Slightly further up, this is Charles L. Dick's shop, and beyond that you can see the Odeon in the background. But before the Odeon was built in 1938, the site was occupied by Philip Seger's shoe manufacturing business, seen here from St George's Street. Here is the Odeon, probably in its final years, as I imagine this picture was taken from the newly built Sovereign House stationery office. And whilst we're here, let's have a quick look inside the 1930s Odeon cinema. This is the current view of where the Odeon would have been, and this is the infamous stationery office, which has been left empty since the mid-1990s. Continuing back towards Magdalen Street, this picture was taken outside the Odeon in 1966, with numbers 23 to 31 on the left hand side and the King's Arms pub on the right. Now back at the Magdalen Street end, but looking back towards the Odeon, this is Frank Price Department Store, which was one of the first parts of Botolph Street to be demolished in 1963. And here we are, back in Magdalen Street at Stump Cross and back to the present day. But what of the future, I hear you ask? There are plans for a revamp. Could it really look like this?